Me, Dee Dee. Thought I would just chat with you for a few minutes before I do a little bit of work around here. I've got some vacuuming to do, and I'm actually working from home today as well. So, yeah. Just finishing up my puzzle here. You guys can see my puzzle. I try to keep this set up so you can watch me do it. Anyhow, I hope you're all staying safe and dry and out of the crazy windy weather we're having. I don't know if you're having it because I don't know where all of y'all live, but I live in sunny Illinois, although it's not super sunny right now. I gotta be honest, it's really not. Um, so I woke up this morning and I was like, oh gosh, gotta put my wig on again. And honestly, I started thinking, because I've been telling you guys that my hair is growing back and I'm pretty excited about it. But yes, my hair is starting to grow back. However, what I forgot was what's underneath all of the growing back part is gray. Because I am aging. I'm not a young chicken anymore. I am actually 57 years old. Years young. I just can't believe I'm that old, honestly. It just hits you one day like, whoa, this happened? Seriously? I'm one of those old people now, like my grandma. I remember looking at my grandma and thinking, oh my gosh, she's so old. Well, now I'm probably older than my grandma was when I remember calling her grandma. But it happens, it's not something we can escape. We're all going to age, we're all going to pass on. Welcome to life. And yeah, it does seem kind of weird and almost unfair sometimes that it has to happen that way because you spend all your life trying to be healthy and avoid illness and not dying, and then one day you die anyway. It's kind of silly, you know. Not silly to avoid being unhealthy while you are here because you still feel pain if you're sick or fever or whatever you're going through. So you kind of want to avoid the suffering aspect of it for sure. But overall, if you think about it, and don't think too deeply because it'll make you feel kind of crazy. But if you think about it, we struggle and struggle to have a certain thing in life, and then it's all over. No matter how hard we struggled, no matter how healthy we were, one day it ends. So, anyway, today I woke up and I was like, well, I'm going to put my wig on. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I have some hair now. I still have some bald spots too. It's my hair isn't as filled in as it usually can be because I did not wash it yet. I need to do that a little bit later. But it is starting to look better than it did. I was having a real bad struggle with gaping bald spots, and now I feel like it's starting to come back. I've been kind of doing some good supplementation and things like that. Anyhow, my goal is to get this puzzle done today because eventually I want to start up a new one before I actually go physically back to work. So that is what I am working on. I've been binge watching the Reba show. Has anybody seen Reba? Reba McEntire, however you say her name. And I've got to say, I'm not impressed with some parts of it. The way they're joking about harming animals is absolutely deplorable to me. And they dub in the laughter. I don't think it's filmed before a live studio audience, but it might be. I don't know. Either way, they try to make it look like it's funny when somebody talks about kicking a dog or a cat going through a wood chipper or dead cats or whatever. It's terrible. And I am going to write to the producers, even though that was years ago that show was even on. I don't think Reba's obviously done any more episodes of it. But I am going to write to the producers and give them my opinion about, what is wrong with you people thinking that this is funny, that this is some sort of comedy. I don't find it funny talking about animal abuse or any source of humor whatsoever. And I never noticed that. Well, of course, I wasn't a huge Reba show watcher back in the day. I just started watching because Matthew's home with me, and we've been kind of looking for stuff to do together. And he moved my table in here so I could hang out with him. So I've been kind of listening in and not really watching, but listening to it and just freaking out, going, oh my gosh, why do they think that that's funny? There's nothing funny about harming an animal, people. Nothing at all. It's not humorous in the least. And society has dumbed down what they consider to be funny. Like you laugh at stuff that once you think about it, it's really not humorous. It's just pathetic to me. Anyway, so I'm going to be glad to actually physically be back at work because I miss it sometimes, and then other times I'm like, oh, I can't wait for vacation. But this has been enough of a vacation, I think. I'm ready to rumble, as they say. Okay, well, anyhow, so I was talking about the balding aspect. So yeah, even if I don't wear a wig and the hair starts growing back and whatever, what's under here is gray because I'm old. And there is no doing anything about that unless I want to incessantly dye my hair. And honestly, I don't, because I feel like coloring my hair and using too many chemicals and stuff is going to be damaging. So I either have to embrace the fact that I'm getting old and be okay with actually showing the gray hair, or I need to color it again. And like I said, I'm leaning towards not, because I don't want to damage my hair. I also don't want to cause health problems. There's all kinds of chemicals in hair dye. So really not wanting to use a lot of that stuff on my hair. But yeah, therein lies the dilemma, is that as they would say, man, I can't talk today. As they might say, do you let your hair go gray and accept yourself as aging and embrace it? Or do you fight it every step of the way, keep coloring your hair, and risk maybe getting cancer from all the chemicals you're putting on your hair, It's not an easy decision, but it's a decision that I guess at some point everybody kind of makes. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe but people age and they don't lose their hair, but I sure am. But I have an autoimmune thing I'm dealing with too, so a lot of that plays into this mess that I'm in, that I find myself in. So I just have to decide what I want to do, or just kind of do both, which is what I've decided to do. Some days I'll show my real hair, some days I'll have my wig on. Either way, there's no shame in wearing a wig. Nowadays, people have been wearing weave for ages, and it's nothing that anybody, scoffs at, or, oh my gosh, do you see she's wearing weave? It's just, they call it her hair, or his hair, or their hair. Um, so it's not anything to be ashamed about. If you have to do that, then you have to do that, right? Yeah. I'm more or less talking to myself here today, and I'm okay with that. Because I'm not going to be on here very long, because like I said, I have some stuff I need to do today, and I'm working from home. But I'm just kind of trying to get this puzzle done while I'm talking to you guys. Sometimes when I'm not paying attention to the puzzle I'm doing, it goes faster, and I find pieces easier. So that is it's my plan today for the moment. And Matthew's still sleeping, so I figure I have a little bit of time to work on this before he gets up, and yeah. Anyway, what's up with all you guys? All you two people that are here. What's new? Talk to me if you want. If not, you might have a lot of quiet moments here because I'm very focused. Very, very focused. Oh, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. This is not a dig towards anybody, by the way, in case you're about to get defensive. There's no need. Honestly, there's not. The biggest thing on the internet, not the internet, but our YouTube section, whatever you want to call it, is people get upset when you don't take up offense with them. Like, they have an issue with somebody, and I've had issues with people, for sure. So I decide whether I want to associate with the person or not. 9 times out of 10, I don't, because I don't like a lot of tension in my life. But if there's somebody on here that you don't like, and they're not causing a problem or a ruckus in my chat room, I'm not going to have an issue with that person unless they're saying stuff about killing animals or, that kind of thing. I'm going to have an issue with that for sure. I don't want to hear that. I don't want that brought into my chat room at all. But if it's just somebody that wants to hang out and they come in and they're acting decently and they're not acting the fool other places and, hurting people or upsetting people that I know about, then I don't have an issue with them and I'm not going to take issue with them. So I'm sorry if that offends people, but I have been blamed for that 9 times out of 10 every time I come on here and I try to, interact with people. I don't want to be, I don't want you upset with me because I won't take up your offense against another person. If you have an issue with somebody, that's your issue. Deal with it, Go one-on-one to the person and work it out. And if you can't, then separate amicably if you can. I'm not going to take up your offense. So, I was taught that a long time ago by a pastor that I sat under, that you should not take up another person's offense. It doesn't do any good. It just brings harm, and it brings a lot of back and forth nasty junk and stress that I can't handle. So, consider that fact before you go getting mad at somebody because you don't like so-and-so, but they may be talking to that person. You get mad at them and, hot-tempered and end up in a big fight with them over it. They don't have an obligation to take up your offense against another person. If that person is doing something that's offensive to you, or something that's flat out, evil or wrong or whatever, then yeah. But if not, then they don't have an obligation to take up your offense, like I said. So that's how I feel about that one. Because somebody did kind of ask me my feelings on something regarding that. And I'm just answering to that person if they're watching. That's how I feel. A lot of my beliefs come from sitting under Pastor Gene and Deb, who were my mentors. And I still very largely hold to those beliefs because they haven't failed me. They've gotten me through a lot of scrapes in life. Just, as they say, keeping my nose clean and out of a bunch of scuffles I don't need to be in. And, I had a discussion with my husband, well, actually with a friend the other day, about something that happened on YouTube a while back. I don't have to get into details because those of you that were around know what I'm talking about. And I was upset. I was talking to this person and I'm like, my husband told me not to fight back, not to have a voice, and not to get involved, just to let whoever say whatever they wanted to say. And I was kind of angry about it. I was like, I should have had a voice back then. And if I hadn't been married, I would have had a voice. I would have said such and such and so, and whatever. And I thought about it because I went into a chat room the other day and I heard how they were bickering back and forth and nothing was ever coming of it because nothing ever does. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what? No. I'm glad he didn't let me get involved in defending myself or attempting to defend myself years ago. Because it wouldn't have defended me. It would have just made me look stupid. So sometimes when someone steps in and warns you, don't get involved, don't say this, don't do this, there's a good reason for it because it's not going to solve the problem. It's not going to bring you any closure. It's not going to give you any peace. If anything, it's just going to keep junk stirred up. Especially on here, on YouTube. This is the junk stirring zone where everybody comes on and just airs their grievances and goes nowhere with them. I've seen it over and over again. People thinking they can come on and work out their problems and they just end up hateful and angry towards each other by the end of it and nothing ever gets resolved. It's just spinning of the wheels. Round and round we go. Where they stop, everybody knows, which is nowhere. They stop nowhere. Nothing gets resolved. Nothing gets solved. Nobody's happy in the end. And there's no point in it. Now, in real life, if you have an issue with somebody, like where I work, if we have an issue with somebody, we can go to the higher-ups and we can say, hey, I'm having an issue with this person or this situation. Can you help me, work on it? And they will. They'll jump in and kind of give you some ideas of trying to talk it out or work it out. But on YouTube, no, that's not the case at all. People just come on here to, I guess, to be heard, just to banter back and forth with no solutions. Do they really want a solution? I don't know. I don't think so, because if they wanted one, they would agree to disagree and just solve it and go their merry way. But how many people actually do that on YouTube? Relatively few, if any, have I ever seen. Just be like, oh, okay, so that's how you feel. I got it. All right, well, we disagree, but that's okay. I'm going to go in my corner and go do my thing, and I wish you the best, and, and then they move on their merry way. No, that's not YouTube. YouTube is a bunch of screaming, yelling, cussing, perversion, rudeness. And when I say YouTube, y'all know what I mean. Our section over here, this mess that we find ourselves in, this community, if you even call it that, a community. When I hear community, that's usually a sense of, I don't know, like unique values or striving to accomplish goals with one another or something like that. But I don't see that over here. I just see a bunch of bickering baloney that, kind of a one-upmanship, like, I'm stronger than you are. I'm going to prove my point. And I'm going to get you good and whatever. Just revenge and this cycle that's like endless, that never ends. And I see very little resolution on here is what I'm saying. And that's why it's futile to get involved in any deep discussions with anybody about anything. Thank you for the thumb up, by the way. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you. Anyhow, yeah, I've been hearing from some people that they like my content on YouTube lately. And I really appreciate you saying that, because I'm not coming on here for any purpose other than just to banter myself, but to give my opinions and kind of share how I feel about certain things without tromping on anybody's toes, upsetting anybody. I mean, I'm sure I upset my share of people. Everybody does that comes on here. It's inevitable. You're going to upset somebody in some way for something you said, something they don't think is as serious as you do. And like I said, it's not your job to take up everybody's offense anyway. Oh, hey, good morning, Evelyn. Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you. And I know, at your job, they probably work on things that are sources of friction or tension that, two people aren't getting along about something. The fact is, in real life, like at jobs and stuff, that's rarely even a situation. It's not the case. I don't have issues with my coworkers. I don't, because we're all working on a common goal, which is, to produce information to help people. And yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. It's two very different worlds, y'all. That's okay. I understand. I can't either. I'm only on here for a brief moment. But I figured I'd come on because I just felt like talking and sharing my views on some things, I guess. Because we can do that. Free country, and, YouTube gives us the platform to do that. And some people misuse the platform and use it for nefarious, evil purposes. And if you do, you do. It's not my thing. I'm not here to do that. It's not anything I enjoy doing, and it's not my heart to just be on here to hurt people or wound people or take revenge. Do I sometimes feel revenge thoughts? Of course. Some people rub me very much the wrong way on here at times. But again, what good would it do? And why would that make me feel better to get revenge on somebody? That says more about my issues than theirs. I've got much more fruitful, enjoyable things to do with my life than go around starting chat rooms to seek vengeance on people. Oh no, I know. And it's real life stuff, Evelyn. So believe me, I know. I hear some stuff. I'm not super involved in it because I don't want to be. I've had enough of my own flack from years ago that ended up dealing with real life stuff too. And it just taxed my marriage. It It taxed my conscience. It just was too much. It's not worth it. Life is too short. I don't have the strength or the energy nor the desire to deal with riffraff like that in my life. So I just don't. I don't bother with it. I just come on and give opinions every once in a while for whatever they're worth or not worth. Um, Maybe I just talk because I know my friends um, who do watch me enjoy hearing me banter about stuff. So I come on and I do it because they write me and say, hey, we really liked that you went live and do it more often and it's helpful and we're stuck in bed here and we just are glad that there's a channel where you come on and give your opinions but you don't like lash out at people and hurt them and there's not a bunch of screaming and yelling in your chat room. No, I won't tolerate that because I'm old and I don't have the nerves to handle a bunch of screaming. I just don't. I can't do that anymore. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. That's kind of you. Thank you. I'm not on here a lot, but when I do come on, I might pop on and visit a chat room here or there and listen and go, oh my gosh, I'm back to the real world now because this is too much. This is too much. It's not going anywhere. It's just going round and round and hopefully people can work out their things, but this doesn't involve me and yeah, that kind of thing. But mostly, yeah, I'm just kind of using YouTube as a means to get my puzzle done today. That's what I'm about. Just wanting to get my puzzle done. I get into puzzles and then it's like, okay, enough of this. I'm ready to start a new one. I don't want to keep doing this same one. I want new colors, new variety. So I'm at that place of wanting new. And so I am on here babbling as I do. Thanks. I don't have much today to say, really, other than what I just said. But it's nice to have a response of some kind from anybody, honestly. I rarely get one, so when I do, I'm pretty happy about it. And actually, y'all, not that I've been trying specifically, but my ratings have gone up. I'm actually doing pretty good in the ratings. Not trying to make money, although, yes, I do use this for part of my income. When it decides to pop in, oh, you got a check from Google. Yeah, I'm not denying that in any way, shape, or form that I use YouTube as a monetary platform. I have for years. And frankly, we can use the money. Who can't, you know? Any way you can, multiple streams of income is a nice thing. But I don't use it specifically with that in mind. I just come on and talk and share or do commentaries because I enjoy doing that. I'm very histrionic like my dad, and it's just something that's in our blood that we enjoy talking and we enjoy meeting people and stuff like that. It's just what we do. My dad's pretty old right now, but he's still pretty spry and going from karaoke to karaoke when he can get there, I guess. So that's pretty cool that he's still up and at 'em, you know, until he breathes his last breath. That's pretty much what he's going to be doing. Oh, I already know, Evelyn. I'm well aware of that. Believe me. I know. That part of stuff, I know what's going on because that's always been the same ever since YouTube has pretty much been taken over by the power that bees. That's how it is. Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's fine. It is what it is. People will talk. I've been on here so many years that I'm kind of used to it now. It's part of being on here. You're going to make some enemies. Welcome to YouTube. I definitely am not on the radar with people that do certain things. I can't deal with that stuff. So, but I'm not going to stop coming on YouTube because there's certain bad players in the area. I've been on here a long time. I don't know how long the bad players have been here, but I've been on here since 2010, I think. I don't even know now. Oh, I know I am. Yeah, definitely. Yep. It was very noticeable. I mean, starting with the persecution I went through and then just going from there, it was something that was absolutely not something we were accustomed to on YouTube. I mean, we had our bickering sessions and our bantering times when we didn't agree, but I don't ever remember people going real life a whole lot on people back when I first started doing live streams. Maybe there wasn't as much of an ability to do that. I don't know. It's all too easy these days to harm people, and that's pretty sad, but welcome to the world. That's unfortunately how it is. It is what it is, as they say. That's why I pretty much just stay in my real life and don't come on here. And when I do come on here, it's only when I have something specific I want to talk about. Otherwise, I'm going to be sitting there looking silly. Just give the haters more stuff to talk about. But yeah, haters will be there and they're going to talk because that's what haters do. That is their job description and they do it well. I do think there's a lot of, as I've said many times before, there's a lot of people on here with mental and psychological and emotional issues. And they are pervasive, which means that pretty much runs their life. So in other words, if you met some of these people in actuality, you would see that they are exactly the same in reality as they are on here. So no, just because somebody's on the internet doesn't mean they're play acting or that they're different because they're on the internet. Some people are just as ruthless and mean in real life as they are on the internet. It just depends on the person and what their issues are. But, you know, that's a fact. That is a fact. Thankfully, like I said, where I work, we don't treat each other like that. That's very... You'd be kicked out. They wouldn't tolerate that kind of nonsense. You would not have a job. You would not be working there. You would not be trusted. And you definitely would not be in anybody's inner circle of friends if you came where I work and started a bunch of garbage. We don't tolerate that stuff. And honestly, it's also something called maturity. People that act like that have a level of immaturity. I'm not dissing. That's just literally the fact. If you spend your days just constantly getting into scuffles with people, then it's time to get a new hobby. It's not worth it, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to help you grow as a person if you want to grow as a person. I mean, if you don't care, if you're one of these people that say, well, you know, you only go around once, so I'm going to get what's coming to me. I'm going to get what's mine. And if anybody stands in my way, I'm going to take them out. Okay, you can do that. And you can live your life that way. I don't choose to live mine that way. But it's not going to give you any, in my opinion, it's not going to give you any real lasting joy. You're just going to want another fix and another fix. And by fix, I mean of revenge or of whatever. And you'll just be a person that people either fear or just don't want anything to do with. Like I said, in my circle, yeah, you wouldn't last long. We don't tolerate that kind of immaturity and nonsense. Because we're there to help people. We're not there to harm people. I think one of the keys for me on here has been, if I don't want to be talked about negatively on a regular basis, just don't come here on a regular basis. And to realize that what I don't know can't hurt me. Like, I don't make a regular diet of checking on what people are saying about me. I used to be obsessed to know what so-and-so was saying about me. Now, nope, I don't care. I'm doing my puzzle, sit next to my husband, chit-chatting, watching TV. It's not on my radar. And thankfully, people don't even bring it to me anymore. It used to be where people would be like, Dee Dee, so-and-so's saying this about you. So-and-so's saying that about you. Now it's like, I don't even want to know. Don't bring it to me. Because I'm not going to go running on there all the time to see what you're saying, because I don't care. I'm happy with who I am, and the parts I'm not happy with, I'm working on. That's what I spend every day doing, is figuring out how I can be a better me. And I'm not going to be a better me if I'm spending time on this crazy place trying to, get into trouble or out of trouble or whatever. And I'm definitely never going to impress my beliefs or my point or my stance on other people. Some of you guys, you enjoy that. You like to come on here and just, constantly argue with people and try to get them to see your side. And they're never going to. You can't convince everybody to just, agree with you because you want them to. People have their own brains. I used to be very insistent that people do things my way, and if they didn't, I would sit and argue a blue streak till I felt like they at least heard me, and it just wore me out. It didn't really do me any good whether they came to my side or not. It's not like I ever really hang out with most of the people on here anyway. I have a few that I talk to offline, but when we talk, really don't talk about YouTube much, to be honest, because the worst thing you can do is bring this crazy place into your relationships offline. Just do you offline. Don't worry about what people are saying or doing. And if you don't involve yourself in wanting to know what they're saying or doing, all the better, because then what you don't know can't hurt you, like I said. Look at this. I am really cooking here today. I am almost done with this whole half of the puzzle. Look at how much I got done just since I talked to y'all. Ooh, my phone's cold. Look at this puzzle I'm working on. Isn't this cool? Here, I'll show you this way. Oops, maybe not. Hang on. There. You can see it better. It's sea turtles and fish and water and coral. Just pretty colors under the sea. This is the one I did the last time. That's the killer whale circle. There's so much more reward in being a creator, and I don't mean a video creator, any kind of creator other than a YouTube creator. There's reward in doing a puzzle and spending your time doing things that make you feel productive. God was a creator, is a creator, so it would be natural for his children to want to be creative as well. So that would be my solution to all of y'all's problems. Get a hobby, be creative. Sums it up right there. Do something you can finish and be proud of and say, hey, I did that. Because that's how God made you, to create, to become productive. And get a job if you can. If you can't work, I get it. Some people can't and don't. But if you can, go out to work and maybe make some friends at work. Some real life friends that you can go out to dinner with or talk on the phone to. I don't know. Whatever you do for your entertainment. Oh, you're crocheting. Hi, Patty. Awesome. Do you have a channel? I could see what you're crocheting. That'd be pretty fun. I don't know, guys. I just see, with a mom that's been dealing with cancer, I see life as very precious and very, very fragile. And it's very important to guard your heart. And I get it if you like bantering back and forth with people. I do. If you like going in chat rooms and having your arguments heard and whatever. I mean, you do you, boo, like I said. But besides all that, I hope you're doing something in your real life to make you feel like you've accomplished stuff. That's what really matters in the end. Because honestly, when you're laying on your deathbed one day, are you really going to care who said what about you on YouTube? Probably not. But will you care that you were happy in your life and you did things that made people happy and you spent your life pursuing a dream that fulfilled you? Yeah, I would say you probably would be very happy about that. And good morning, Grace. And you'd leave this earth feeling accomplished and like your life counted for something. That's all I know about life, I guess. for me anyway. As I'm watching people pass on, I'm an old lady. I'm 57. I know people are like, "You're not old. Don't say that." Yes, I am. Can we just call a spade a cotton pick and shovel, as a former sales trainer used to say? I'm old. Okay, I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not in my teens, my 20s, my 30s, or even my 40s. I'm in my 50s, quickly approaching 60. When you get to that age, hopefully, if you're mature enough and you've grown in your life and you've learned what matters, you start really thinking about what does matter in life and where your life is going, or where it's gone, and where it's been, and where it could go. And YouTube, like I said, first of all, back in my day, YouTube wasn't a thing. It didn't even exist. So you just basically had hobbies and did stuff like that. And people were more creative before computers. I'm not dissing computers. Yeah, I know, Evelyn, exactly. I'm not dissing computers by any means. I love being on the computer. I love that I can come online and talk to the whole entire flipping world. I like that. But I will not get to the point where this is all I do, because that is a danger zone. And I have been to that point before. I was starting to get to that point. And thankfully, my good husband ruled and reined me back and said, "Whoa, you're getting too caught up in this mess, and it's starting to affect our real life." And then, of course, there's the people that, as we say, go real life on you. And it just wasn't worth it. Because, okay, say I did have a voice and I spoke up for myself when people attacked me back in the day. What would that have accomplished? Nothing other than, oh, I feel good because I spoke up and I said something. Would it stop what was going on? Probably not, because those people still bash me. They're still at it when they're not bashing other people. It didn't fix anything. It wouldn't have fixed anything if I had spoken up. If anything, it would have just made me nervous and probably caused my blood pressure to rise and given me health problems. And frankly, I don't want to give anybody the power to control my health. That's my power to control my health. God's and mine only. You don't get to tell my cells how to operate. Oh, okay, we're 10 years apart. Gotcha. That's pretty cool. Good, then maybe I can impart some wisdom till you get to be my age and you're facing the fact that one day you are saying the same, or seeing the same thing I'm seeing. That there's certain things in life that matter and certain things that don't. And the crazy YouTube world is one of them that, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't. I'm not going to be laying on my deathbed worrying about who said what about me on YouTube. I'm just not. I'm hoping I don't have a deathbed. I'm hoping I just pass away pretty quickly and I don't have to suffer. That's my plan. That's why I'm really trying to watch my health and my weight and get everything back to where it needs to be. Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, there's just certain things that matter in life and certain things that are just dumb to even worry about. And I can tell you, when I drive to work and I'm at work, I'm not thinking about YouTube. Not in the least. I'm thinking about the people at my workplace who I'm trying to help. Thinking about information I can give people that will lead them on the right path and help validate them and give them a good life. Yeah, that's where it's at, y'all. That's where it's at. So, if you are the target of persecution on here, welcome to the YouTube club. It's just what we do on here, apparently. I don't, but it's what other people do on here. It brings them some sense of joy or bliss to harm other people and to argue endlessly about stuff that's never fixed. I can tell you, because back when I came on here and we didn't do all this crazy banter talk back and forth, and this person said this and I don't like that person because of whatever. When we didn't do that and we used to have a lot of fun on here, it's a pretty rewarding thing to do, to come on here and talk to people. You made friends. And you'll hear me say this till the day I breathe my last breath, if I do come on here, that it used to be a lot better. It used to be rewarding. But unfortunately, bullies tend to hang around. And they don't always go anywhere if they have a following. And bullies on here have gotten quite the following for whatever reason. Why they can't just go back to where they came from, I don't know. But bullies don't do that. Not as long as people are afraid of them or enamored by them or hang on their every word or whatever. As long as somebody's going to listen to someone that's being mean, that mean person is going to hang out because they got an audience, right? That makes sense. It makes logical sense. It's maddening to me because I miss the old days. I miss when things were fun. And I know a lot of people on here do that were there for that. I wish there was a way, honestly, where we could just start anew. You know, just start over again, back at the beginning. Or just continue where we left off. And just keep those people here and not even here. Start a brand new chat area that's exclusive, maybe even. So unfortunately, you know, I don't like that things have to be exclusive sometimes, but there are times it's safer to have exclusive groups and keep certain people out. And that'd be nice if I could figure out a way, and if any of you guys can, that'd be great, to do just a profile, a platform like YouTube, where just good-hearted people can come and disagree if they don't agree, but not harm each other in the process, not have screaming matches about it. Just basically say, hey, that's how you see it. I don't see it that way. We're not going to agree on this. I had a situation with my daughter recently about an opinion I had about something, and we were getting a little heated, and it was online. It wasn't online. It was on the phone. And she finally said, Mom, let's just agree to disagree, okay? And I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. I mean, did it bother me that she wasn't seeing things my way? Of course it did, because it always bothers you if people don't see things your way. Did it change anything that she didn't see it my way? No. I still feel the way I do. She still feels the way she does. But we didn't have to end up enemies over a discussion. That's a maturity thing with me, too. That was a long time in coming. Before I would get really, really heated, and I would be the one to argue back and forth and try to prove my point and, you know, try to make somebody do it my way or see it my way. And now I just don't, because like I said, I'm old, I'm tired. There's just certain things that matter and certain things that don't mean a hell of beans. I don't have the right, or the need to be right. I'm not a right fighter anymore like I used to be, thankfully. But there are times, like if somebody gets on my last nerve, I'll walk away. I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. I'm not going to try to prove to you that I'm right and you're wrong. I don't have the energy. I don't have the desire. I'm just going to tell you how I feel and I'm going to move on. But people on here don't move on. They just go on and on and on about it. And they can spend hours talking about stuff that's never going to change. That they're never going to convince somebody to see it their way. And I just don't get that. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. I guess maybe for people that are like bedridden and can't get up and move around and, you know, that's all they have is YouTube, then I guess that makes sense, sort of. I mean, that's all they do. So they've got to keep the drama going in order to feel like they exist and feel like they thrive. That's just sad to me. I don't know. That's not something that I would be happy about. But that's me. That's just how I feel about it. So, for whatever it's worth. This puzzle is coming along so well. And I'm feeling very accomplished and very proud of myself. Yeah. Get y'all's a puzzle. Do a puzzle. If you like doing puzzles. Some people hate it. Some people go crazy looking at all these pieces. I guess the way I do it, I don't look at the big picture. Like, I won't even look at the box to do a puzzle. Gladys, you're so funny. I can't answer that question. Why don't you go ask Phil that? He's the one that moved. I used to enjoy Phil's channel a lot. Back when Laura and him used to come on and just chat and we kind of got to know them. That was fun. But I think a lot of people have just gotten caught up in the senseless drama on here. I don't hate them. I'm not hating on people. Like I said, I'm not dissing you. If that's how you enjoy spending your time, bantering back and forth about meaningless stuff that's not ever going to fix itself because nobody wants to, then more power to you. But I don't choose to spend my time that way. And I'm very grateful to God right now that I have a job outside of this place and that I'm not one of those people that have to stay home all the time and find something to do because I don't have anything to do with myself. Yeah, I'm very glad that that's not me. And I pray to God above that it never is me. That would not be a fun life for me at all. Hopefully by the time this live stream's over, I am going to be able to show you guys a finished puzzle. Oh, you know what? I need to go because it is time for me to get going to work. But I have greatly enjoyed this time. Maybe I've said something that resonates with somebody or something. I don't know. But I will talk to you guys later because I need to go do what I'm obligated to do. See you soon.